in the remote Alaskan town of Whetstone Ridge, population 472. Surrounded by endless pine forest, howling wind. In months of snow-laced silence, every 27 years, without fail, okay? The power goes out for exactly 4 minutes, always at the same hour. 3:13 a.m., midwinter, always on the final night of the year. The locals call it the drift, a quiet tradition no one questions anymore. They treat it like a ghost story, something that happens, but not something to fear, because when the power cuts out, everyone simply falls asleep, no matter where they are. Not like fainting, not like being drugged. It's gentle, calm, and no one dreams. It's always been that way, peaceful, eerie, and uneventful, till 2163, when 17-year-old Tyler Moreau, a restless amateur videographer raised on conspiracy, forums, and ghost hunting shows, decided he wasn't going to sleep through it like everyone else. Armed with 6 portable infrared cameras, motion detectors, and a generator-powered drone, Tyler set up a system of silent observers throughout the town, one on Main Street, one on the school roof, one facing his house, and one facing out toward the dark forest that hugged the town like a silent wall. He wanted to record the drift, not because he thought he'd find anything, okay, but because he hoped it would finally make him feel something in a place where nothing ever changed. But what he captured changed everything. When the drift began, at 3:13, all power failed. As expected, Tyler's laptop screen froze. Lights dimmed, the town sighed into darkness, but his cameras, fed through an isolated power loop, continued to record. For exactly 4 minutes and 0 seconds. When he reviewed the footage the next day, it started simple. Streets empty, snow falling. Then, at timestamp 0 hours, 0 minutes, and 47 seconds, the camera on Main Street flickered only once, but enough to register motion, and then they appeared. Towering figures, impossibly thin, like stretched shadows, wearing long, dark robes that didn't touch the ground. Their faces were featureless, but not blank smooth, elongated ovals that shimmered like heat haze. They walked slowly, one step at a time, in complete silence. No footprints, no breath, no steam. Each one stopped at a different house. Some peered through windows, others tilted their heads as if listening to something inside. And every few seconds, one would subtly nod, like a silent agreement, before continuing. There was no pattern, no violence, no entry, just observation. They moved with impossible precision, gliding more than walking. Their movements, too smooth to be mechanical, but too calculated to be human. The camera on the school roof caught an overhead view, 23 figures total, moving in harmony. No weapons, no tools, just eyes that weren't eyes. And in every frame, no townspeople stirred. Not one dog barked. Not one light flicked on. Then, at 0 hours, 3 minutes, and 44 seconds, the camera outside Tyler's home flickered again. One of the figures had turned, stopped, and was looking directly at the camera. No face, no eyes, but somehow, Tyler knew it saw him. Knew it was aware, okay? The footage ends at 0 hours, 4 minutes, and 0 seconds sharp, as the power came back. When he woke up, because, like everyone else, Tyler had fallen asleep, too, he found himself in his desk chair. Camera equipment intact, footage safe, but one thing off. A single long smudge across the inside of his bedroom window. 3 vertical lines, almost like fingers. Tyler's footage went viral within days. At first, skeptics dismissed it as a generated or a marketing stunt. But when researchers analyzed the video, they couldn't explain the data. Real snow physics, authentic thermal noise, no pixel anomalies, nothing fake. Then, other towns came. Forward remote villages in Siberia, isolated hamlets in Patagonia, a hidden monastery in Tibet, all reported identical phenomena, Every 27 years, always 4 minutes. Always silence. Always sleep. But none had ever recorded it. No one had ever noticed. Till Tyler. The world split in debate. Were they extraterrestrial observers? Time travelers? Interdimensional archivists cataloging humanity like an ant colony? But one fact chilled scientists to the bone. All towns affected shared one thing in common: no population growth. Not in 200 years. No births. No deaths. Just the same number of people, every generation, as if frozen in time. UN investigators sent teams to Whetstone Ridge, but during the next drift, all surveillance equipment failed. Even equipment Tyler had used successfully. The entities returned and vanished. Tyler disappeared 1 month later. No forced entry. No signs of violence. Just a warm bed, a powered-off drone, and a single piece of paper taped to his monitor. It said, "I finally saw them, but this time, they saw me." The paper was dated 2 days after his disappearance. Since then, more towns have gone silent. Not from violence, but from emptiness. Doors open, meals half-eaten. No struggle, no bodies, just an eerie, peaceful stillness. It's like they were never there at all. And still, every 27 years, the drift returns. 4 minutes, total sleep. And somewhere in the corners of quiet towns, hidden from city light and satellite maps, the watchers return, always silent, always calm. They never touch, they never speak, they never take. Not unless you look back, because they're not studying us. They're waiting for something. When they find it, whatever it is, they don't need force. They only need to be seen. So, if you're ever in a place where time sleeps and shadows glide just beyond the glass, close your eyes, let it pass, because you may think you're watching them. But what matters most is when one of them stops, turns, and watches you.